Hello, Divine Sunshiners. Stay uplifted, stay motivated, stay ascended. Namaste, Namago. Hello, this is Divine Sunshine, and this is my last trigger warning for this series. I'm going to release it. It told me to release it for Sunday. For this one, so you'll get this is Saturday, but it'll be Sunday for you. Will be November the 1st. Okay, so we got this controversial subject that's going on within the twin flame community, which is either you call it covering your divine masculine or divine feminine, or either sending them love. You know, here on this twin flame journey and adventure, you know, sometimes that is kind of being, I won't say body shamed, but it is being love shamed for doing that. And I've had a lot of people even speaking to and talking about that. And it's a big clash about that. And I'm with Patricia McNeely when she's saying about that, you know, we're forgetting. We keep on pushing about mission. We keep on saying doing the work, the childhood wounds, you know, the karmics, forgetting about all that stuff. But then at the end of the day, where is the love in all of that? We're not practicing that. And some of us that do try to talk about love some kind of way in the twin flame, and this is called a trigger warning, so I'm just being honest with you. We are being love shamed for doing that, for sending love no matter what. And yes, has the divine masculine been a total a-hole at times? Have he literally turned around and took his pants off and saying kiss my own situations? Yes, he has done that. I'm talking about from my own experience. It has. Now, he's not done it once. Has he done it twice? Has he done it 3 times? He might have been done it more than that. Now, I'm looking at the end and they say 4 or 5 times. Well, that's fine. He might have did it that many times. That's what came up on the clock on my phone. So he might have even did that. But still, at the end of the day, I still know at the core of it, those are the things that are illusions, those are his distortedness, and I still love him at the end of the day. To me, when I hear people that speak of that, lets me know that there is something about them not being able to love the shadow of themselves or the shadows of others. Now, that could also be brought about by childhood experiences. It could be also the experience of past relationships or relating with other people, or it could be simply even just from the DM, or as they're telling me, they're saying it's a collaboration of all 3, all the above that I have given as an example of. So this morning when I woke up, which is a real clear times when I get a lot of my downloads and my things, it gave me a message about that. And it was saying that God still loves us and sends us the lessons, no matter what. Some of us stating that if we do love the person, or if we send protection to them some kind of way, it is going to block them. Each time it says that, it sends my stomach to go to that fork in the road. Now, I can tell when it's stuff is like when it's ego, if it's over on the left side and I'm giving that pushback, that lets me know, say, you know what, that coming from ego. That ain't coming from you. Your ego saying no, and that person is giving you bona fide truth. When it sits in the center with me, that lets me know that say, I don't know about that. What you're saying there some truth. I got to start citing the source. That means I got to start looking at you to see where is it this is coming from. You know, is this truly something that's kind of laced with a little ego, or a little hurt, a little pain when you're saying not to do that? Or where is it again? Is it saying that, okay, this person is truthfully coming from a place that's saying, you know, you shouldn't do that because you are crossing laws, or you doing this because, again, you shouldn't do that because, again, you haven't filled your cup. Now, that I can understand. If you're coming from a place of stating that you're not filling your cup and you're giving out to other people, and you're that type of person that likes to give, and you don't have enough for yourself, it's empty, and you turn that bottle and it's like, okay, bottoms up, every single cup. It's all of it's gone, like in the club, and you passing out champagne Dom Perignon to everybody, and it's gone because it's free. It's gone in that minute. I can understand that. It's like, damn, y'all didn't think about leaving me no daggone bottles or nothing. I'm the one that paid for it. At least y'all could have gave me one. Look at y'all. Ingrateful. That part I can understand. understand, that part I can understand. But if it is that you have enough love and you say you want to send that overflow over to your partner, that is where there's a controversial thing where we're getting love shamed for being able to, and that's my new term, for sending over love to your counterpart. That is you. Even if you in your shadow, you still should be sending love to yourself, because again, that's part of you. And that's half of our problem that we have on this journey, is not embracing the shadow of us. It should be, well, you in time out, I'm not going to deal with you until you start dealing with me right. Isn't that now pushing that into unconditional love now? Because now I won't love you until you meet my conditions and my requirement. No, I won't send you love because you're over there in that karmic situation. So I'm not going to send love. I'm not going to shield you. I'm not going to send any kind of protection over to you because you're in that situation. Okay, but you're a part of me, but you're over there. To me, that's like you sending your child out there and say, you didn't do what I said. You got to learn your lesson, but I'm not going to send any kind of love or shield or protection over you as you go into that situation, because you're wrong. You still want them to learn the lesson. Hell, you shouldn't be out there. Let's say, for instance, your child maybe be doing selling, they in gang activities. You got a son that's in there. Okay, they're doing wrong. You didn't talk to them till you blew in the face. Okay, all right then. You look like you got to learn your lesson. At the same time, it's not going to stop me from saying a prayer. It's not going to stop me from saying that God shield him wherever he's at. I'm not in agreement with what he's doing, but still, can I send that prayer as protection to them at the same time on the account of that? I'm still not really truly, that part is, I'm still and it's still that you still can be able to shield that person. You still can send that person love in that situation, but you're not asking for them to take that lesson that he's in there. He's going to learn it. And so Spirit has sent me this. It says, we are many gods. As divines, we are to emulate those aspects. That means practicing divine love, practicing Christ's love. That means practicing love unconditionally. The idea of sending love to our counterparts is controversial. However, I would say consider the source and your intentions. Some do it to make for one's personal gain. If you're doing that and you're sending that love out to them and hoping that's going to change and shift the situation while they be in the karmic situation, or if me with the son, I'm sending me saying protecting them with love and sending those energies, maybe with him being the gang, some kind when they see them and all of a sudden they're loving on one another because I sent that. That's not what that's for. If that's your intention to do that, then no, you're doing it for the wrong thing. And yes, stop doing it, because you're thinking that it's going to change the situation. It is going to change them. But they said, however, the Bible says love. That's the highest power of all, is to love. That's one of the highest things that is asked of us. Many of us do not want to send this or cover our counterparts with this due to one's hurt. Someone who says that you should not send love, to me, again, it's not to me, from source stated that this person is coming from a pattern of hurt, and the person's, again, keeps on going over that same pattern. So however, source says you got to learn how to balance both. So you might have a person that gives too much, and then you got a person that said, no, don't give. But you got to learn how to balance it both. You have to practice discernment to know when you should and when you shouldn't. You have to ask yourself in ego, am I giving this person this protection or this sending them love? Is it because I want to change them, or do I want to change the situation? Like my mom said, when you do that, you always end up being changed in the process. Or am I withholding love or doing that because, again, I'm scared I'm going to get hurt in the process? Maybe that's going to make them more better in this karmic situation at the end of it, and they're going to benefit from it. So I'm going to withhold from it because I don't want them to make it to feel better where they are in the situation. That's something that you have to kind of really check yourself before you wreck yourself on that. And they say you got to find a balance. So use discernment, but don't withhold, because when you do that, you're in ego. Covering one from love does not shield or block them from their lesson. And they said this, and this is the 7th time I said this. At all times, things are working for the highest good. And the Spirit said, do you think Confirmation. It says, do you think that you are that much smarter or stronger that you can redirect things in which it says it is needed to happen in order to bring you to your highest good according to source? And they say Jesus was covered and he still had to endure the cross. Because God had a higher purpose and ascension was needed for not only Jesus, but to create believers. Source. Source says, if I feel it has to be done, I'm going to do it with or without your permission. And then it showed me at the same breath where it was like taking like a little person. And it was like, this was you. And it was taking you and this said, move out the way. Thank you. Because I still want them. Okay? The question is now is, are you covering yourself with love? Love is free. It doesn't cost a thing to give. When it costs is the amount you give to the point that there is not enough to give self. And now you're bankrupt and that's the cost. Because in the process of you trying to win over or change somebody else, you have bankrupt yourself. So now you have sold yourself short and now that's the cost. So when you put yourself last, now that's the cost. And the real question is, why are you not extending love for others? Do you feel that you will not have enough for self? They said that's impossible because they said when you give, you create more. And we extend it to your partner. And when you do that, you're actually extending it to yourself. And so they came to me. So I know some of you all still are going to disagree with it. But with all things, we have to find balance. And something within that is not balanced in that thought. And again, it's love shaming. For someone to, again, okay, there we go. Love shaming. You are not, again, allowing somebody to love freely the way they want to. And that's control again. And that's putting conditions on them. So if a person feel like they want to send love to the person, let them. Like my mom said, let them find the lesson about that. And Spirit will correct them. Just like we said last night. Spirit will correct them and they say, don't do that. I had one day, I could even say that with my DM. And one day I was like, no, I'm not gonna call him. I'm not gonna call him today. I'm not gonna call him. He all right. Spirit said, call him. I was like, because to me that again, that's like me extending love to him. And I was like, I'm not going to do it. So I said, call him. I picked up the phone, seeing how he was doing, find out something that had transpired between him and the customer, which had shook him to his core. Not going into any more details about that. We talked. I eased him. We seeing that loving, just us talking and dialogue with each other because that's the way we vibe with each other. I could tell by the end of the situation, he was kind of still a little doubtful, but he felt comforted. I felt good walking away from that because I felt that at that point I listened to Spirit. Spirit told me to be there for my other self, and I was. And he was made much better than that. That helps me out in the long run because, first of all, when he gets upset, I feel it physically. So my thing is, I don't want to be having no upset stomach because of him being nervous about what transpired between him and the customer. That's out. So my thing is that, you know, I'm holding back, saying, well, I can't extend love. I shouldn't have this conversation with him. I shouldn't make him easy because he got to learn the lesson anyway. So I'm going to let him just wallow in the mire in the whole situation. Because at the end of the day, he's still team me. Rather I like it or not. He still got the lesson. He still had to, when I hung up the phone after me giving him love there, he still had to deal with the aftermath about did he believe that what was going to transpire nice between with that customer and what was said, if that's still going to go. He still's got to deal with that. Okay? He still had to think about the aftermath of what that person had said that they were going to do, X, Y, and Z. Okay? What was the next move? What was going to next following day? Are they going to do what they said or whatever like that? So my thing is, you can't stop those things. The Spirit just said that. If we need to do that, do that. We can't get to the point that we are fearful in expressing love. We're putting boundaries and we're making conditions even within ourselves in doing that. Now I can understand that again, like you said, like some of us said, you know, you got to watch it. It depends on who you're doing it for. You know, saying love, and it's again, you can say that intentionally or not intentionally. Again, say I'm doing this out of love. If it's wrong, okay, you show me. That's not my intentions, and even if it's unintentionally you do it, Source would even tell you even then, no, okay, that ain't work. Don't do that no more. And you'll see it. You open yourself up to it. That's why I say at all times, ask for divine truth. Ask for divine truth in everything you're doing. Okay, I'm thinking about doing this. I'm thinking about doing this, you know, show me a sign or whatever, divine truth. Should I go on ahead and do that? I was saying that, I was going back and forth. I said, I shouldn't call him, shouldn't call him. Spirit said, I say, call him. I said, okay, we'll see, you know, I'm doing all this stuff now. It rings so many times, you know, he don't answer by so-and-so, that means don't do it, you know, picked up on that. Like, okay, I guess you want me to do it, you know, and then called and then seen he was in distress. So I'm supposed to sit there and say, no, I cannot cover you or pray with you. I'm not really understand. I'm not. It doesn't resonate. It doesn't resonate, and I'm not fighting it. It's just saying again, we got to find balance. So that don't mean go out there again and do the extend the love or to give a prayer protection and that person is not being respectful to you. You got to do discernment. You got to look at the whole thing. I call it Olivia Popet. You got to look at all aspects of it to see, is it right for you to do. But please, let's not get into the point that when somebody wants to extend the love or do that things, it's people who are leaders. We are readers. You are a leader in your own self, right? If a person wants to extend the love to do that, just let them go on. I got a bestie and friend in her own little situation, and I've said again, hey, all I can do is, again, just keep on doing it until you get to the point that something will tell you to self-correct and say, okay, don't. You at this point feel like you want to keep on showing love to this person X, Y, and Z. You feel like, hey, the situation really ain't right, but you feel right now you don't see no other options at this time, but you just want to say, okay, I'm just here and I just express unconditional love, then do that. I'm not going to sit up here and love shame you for that. Okay, and so that's a little bit, again, like I said, I think, again, collectively, that's just one way in which us and the Twin Flame Collectors are doing that thing, that love shaming, and I know it's probably going to be rubbing people wrong, but my thing, this is called a trigger warning. We even love shame ourselves for feeling what I feel for this way for this person. This person was cruel. He showed his A 4 to 5 times, his A-hole to me. Turned around, told me to kiss it, and all that. You know, it's just all that stuff there together. And not really understanding, again, unconditional love. Hey, I showed it. Jesus even still, at the end of the day, loved the people. They was coming there to arrest. I don't know why Spirit keeps on bringing me to the scene where they were coming to arrest them. Judas took, what was not Judas, it was Peter. Took one of the disciples, took the thing, sliced off the daggone guard's ear. Jesus turned around and reprimanded him and said, no, we ain't about this now. We ain't about no violence now. No. The man doing his job, I'm going to go and put this ear back on him and heal him. We ain't about to do this. Now, I can't be upset with him. He doing his job, and he might be rough handling me too. But my thing is that here, we ain't about to do this, okay? I'm still going to show him love even in this situation. Even on the last 7 words that he said, he still showed love at there. Forgive them, Father, for they know not what they do. Still showing love to the end. Still preaching to the end, and they put him on the cross. So my thing is again, when we talk about what would Jesus do and how can we be Christ-like, we got to think about those things. That means still showing love at the same thing. It's not talking about as far as you putting yourself and sacrificing yourself about that. But again, to say, hey, I love you because I would want anybody in my darkest times to still express love and send love to me and say, okay, God bless her, baby. One day she'll see it, she'll get it. That's it. And then I'm going to let God work it out for her highest good, for her to be able to shift and get those things together. on that. I've had people tell me that even on this channel here, say I'm not in agreement with where you're going with it, but I do wish you well on that one. That's it. That's what it's all about. Understanding you, respecting of you being where you are, where we are, again, and still saying I can still show you love. And I think, again, like I said, anytime when we want to express love to our divine counterparts, we are slapping our twin flames on the hand when we want to do that. Let them find out on their own. Just like they say about, like, Ray Charles' mom said that she was going to go and she did that like that. You'll see. Because some of them things that you're talking about, you're still going off of different old paradigms. You got to remember that too as well, as far as that. And so then, there's laws, but then there's some things that, again, that they're saying is not where you think it is. And that's not what you're saying. Our point was, don't do it to the point that you're manipulating that person. That's their point. And they just brought that to me. They say, well, we said that means don't do it to the point that you are manipulating them. That's when it becomes you do practicing black magic on them. You're trying to make them act a certain way. You're trying to make them do a certain way. But sending love to that person or putting prayer protection around that person is not manipulating them. Unless you talk about you shield and you don't want them to learn no kind of like the lessons. That's why I say watch the verbiage. Watch where you're saying your intentions or your purpose or your objective for sending that over. Is it to change the situation so if you can benefit from it? Then heck no. I was about to say hell no, don't do it. Don't do it. But if you're sending it over there and it's purely with pure intentions or whatever like that, then again, and it's not to manipulate the situation, it's just sending love. Hey, you can do this, whatever. Have a great day, whatever. I was thinking about you today, because a lot of times when you're thinking about them, they thinking about you. At that time, he was calling me. His soul was calling me. And I'm standing there with the phone talking about, no, I'm busy. I'm about to hit end. Click and put the phone down spiritually. And he's calling me that day, say, I need you. Something went down and I'm in distress. And so that's why Spirit's like, I'm like, no, I'm not there until they got the hollering. You know how Source does that. Pick up the phone and call them. I was like, okay. Hello? It's a difference. Practice discernment in everything that you do. Check yourself. Do the point saying, why am I doing this? Why am I sending this love here? Why am I giving him prayer protection? What's the objective? Am I going to benefit from it at the end of the day? Those things. And if you do, everything is about trial and error. I think we get to the point, to me, and when I talk about us in twin flames things, we get a little too daggone cautious on some things. We're too dependent on the rules and what had happened in the past and whatever it had done this. And then we're scared to move, period. We're scared to even try. It's called trial and error. This is the earth school. No matter what, even on earth they bring it to me, you might be doing wrong. It's always a lesson that's going to be learned from it. So go ahead, get the lesson, get the blessing, and keep it moving. Because it's always going to be something. That you say, well, I can hear somebody say, well, if I could tell you that and it stop you from getting that, then you do. But sometimes these things, what's good for the goose ain't good for the gander. This is what I keep on bringing it to me. That might be in the rule for you, but then when it applies to me, that might not go. That's why I said I can only on this channel, this is what I do, and then I'm going to end on it. Only on this channel, I call it experiential channel. I can tell you from my bumps and bruises that I have, that I come on here, I'm transparent, I tell you about what's going on with me, and I'm in hopes that when you do listen to the things that I go through, that you can pick apart and say, oh, I can see it. Maybe I will choose to do it like she did it, or maybe I might say I'm going to have to choose a different route to do that. That's why I come up with these trigger warnings. This is why the way that I founded this channel is that, again, I hit you with, again, the transparency, the telling you about what's going on with me, all of everything, the dynamics, my family, everything. So that in hopes that when you look at it, you can see and say, okay, I can discern. I like the way I felt when she said she did that. I'm going to incorporate with that. Okay, I heard that. I didn't like that. I'm not going to incorporate that. I think I'm going to take a different turn. That's what it means to be a light worker. To shine the light on yourself, to show people about what things that you are your shadows, and showing them in hopes that when they see it, that they will choose to be doing a different way. Let's stop love shaming each other. If people want to show love, or they want to express or extend love to others, let them go on ahead and do it. And let life show them to say, no, don't do it. Because it's some things that people have said to me, they say don't do it. And I done got great results from doing it. So that's just the same thing like they saying about the moon, or the retrogrades. Don't do X, Y, Z. And I told you, I didn't even pay attention to the best damn retrograde I had in my whole life. Because I didn't pay attention to what the rules and regulations was. I made my own thing. And that's why I said we're at the point here, we're kind of getting ourselves in the box, and we're not thinking outside of the box. All right, that is it for me. And I had to say that because that one was very something I hold dear to my core, and I'm just a little kind of afraid with us giving all these limitations to us that is not helping us to fly and to ascend to the next level. Okay? As always, stay uplifted, stay motivated, stay ascending. Namaste, Namago. Love you.